Hey there, D. Hey there, AU Prospector. I'm actually doing mediocre as fuck. I helped my great aunt paint her porch the other day, and with all the carving I've been doing, and then that porch painting, my tennis elbow and general tendonitis in my arm has really flared up bad. This is probably the last carving video I'm going to be able to do for a little while. Some of my community wants to do a chat and stuff like that, we definitely will. But I've been working on getting that podcast off the ground, and I've had some success in moving forward with that. This is the last stone I want to get ready so I can get it so I can polish it with these other ones. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will be stone 11 that's ready to go to final polish. No, I started some stretches again today, Justin, and I'm going to be and I just ordered some. Let's see, got the wrong thing on. And I just ordered some massage balls to work on my forearm with. Get this dang microphone where I want it to be so it can hear me. There we go. I think that'll be about right. Now this stone has got some great colors poking through, as you can see. Some greens and blues and red. It's just a line of different colors. It's even got some color change going on. Now some of these colors are so thin, I'm just trying to get through the gold and bronze and orange to get right on top of those other colors so I can polish the other ones out. And I've pretty much got this section of the stone ready, as you can see, with all that red. And I'm working on this back section now. This bubbly area is being a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm sure I'll make it work out just fine. And I have some other amazing stones you guys are going to see finish right here. I think this one stone right here is going to be a 3-figure stone. Let me show you this one. Got purple and pink and blue. Those are all the main colors. We'll see how it comes out in polish. But it's a super rare stone in the way it's been cutting. And then that at one angle is a little bit of a bronze, and another angle it's a blood red. So I sort of wanted to leave that red a little bit on there, and I decided after I go to polish how it looks. If I don't like it, then I'll cut it off. But I can't wait to take this stone to polish right here. But I've been busting my ass carving stones this last little while. And that's part of the reason that my elbow, tennis elbow, is so inflamed. Because I've been doing too much of this, to tell you the truth. And it'd been like 3 or 4 days since I did a live stream for you guys or had any sort of video go up. So I figured maybe the community of even just the 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 of us that end up in here on a regular basis might want to hang out. I didn't want to go the whole weekend without doing a live stream for everybody to say hi to each other. And I've been doing so much carving that I missed my buy me a cup of coffee entries the last couple of days. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about that today, since my 2 people that are on Buy Me a Cup of Coffee are here right now. My 3 people. There is one other person that's not here right now, and that's my friend Nancy. She's not here right now. I really need to get this section of carving done, though, because this is really where I'm super feeling it in the arm. My elbow. Bit of the loose sand-filled agate on top of it, and it was all like this shape. You can see there's no broken piece anywhere on it. Like down here, it was attached to a little bit of other stuff, but it pretty much came out of the ground as one whole agate, which would be a extremely large ringstone or a very nice pendant. And with the way the colors are working on this right now, with all the red, bright green, and blues that are coming through, I'm hoping I carve and I'd like to call everybody out that's here. Paul's here too. Everybody likes to hear that you're drooling over stuff, Paul. Those are good compliments. Women like to hear it as long as it's from the right person. Men like to hear it too, from almost any woman. And anybody who's selling stones or carving stones, that's what they want to hear. Oh my God, it's amazing. My son's birthday's this month. My birthday's this month. I need to buy some stuff. Feel free to make offers on the Fat Daddy. This is definitely a Fat Daddy. We'll see how it comes out, though. We're going to finish this one tonight, and I expect to get all of the other 10 polished tonight. I think this is going to take me the most amount of time. So I'm going to deshine all of these stones. It takes longer if I use Nova points, but if I use deshine, it goes a bit faster. Let's see, where was I? So everybody's talking about this show. So while I was carving the other day, I watched all the episodes of it. Have any of you guys watched Tiger King? I watched it. I think every one of those people that had tigers is a crazy son of a bitch, all of them. Wow, I went right through the green right there. Didn't mean to go through that green. These colors are so thin, but there's so many bars stacked on top of each other that even going through a color bar here and there, it's not too detrimental. Sometimes I have to remember, like this area, because the color is so thin, to just leave some of that stuff I don't like that much, because I will polish through a bunch of it. This little burr I have right here, it's almost done for. It's probably only going to make it through this last stone right here. I have to order more of these. You got to guess, Cherie. It's all a guessing game. That's why you have to carve as much good fire agate as you can so you get better at guessing. Although you want to, the smaller the pieces you carve, that are good, have good color, the better, because then you're not ruining giant pieces of stone, giant good gemstones, I should say. That whole question you just asked is exactly why I had my $100 boxes that have a bunch of tiny little stones that have color in them, so you can get good at guessing. Well, when you first start guessing, Margaret, it's a lot of luck. The more you carve, the better you get at figuring out what's going on as you're carving. Hello, Misty. For any of those people that are here that aren't part of the normal community, it's okay if this is boring to you. You do not have to stick around. If this is like watching paint dry to you, then it's no big deal. Or you can hang out and chat with the friends. How is the stream going? Will you guys keep me updated on if you're having problems with the stream? I'm not going to end it early just so I can know. Taking out those colors on top right there, because that is a dark blood red underneath. I can't even see anything through my windshield is all covered up. I can see your guys' chat, but I can't see the stone on the TV screen. Thank you, D. Well, I was all excited when the Discovery Channel got in touch with me, or I should say when the Talent Scout for one of the Discovery Channel's production teams got in touch with me. Super excited. And now that excitement is totally faded after we did our interview. It seemed to go great, and I've had no contact back. So I figure not a big deal. What is razor? Oh, razor clamming. Never mind. I know what clamming is. I almost asked a stupid ass question. So first I thought I read razor claiming, because you know rocks and stuff. Then I realized it was clamming, razor clams. 29 minutes to get your limit. That's awfully fast. That one bubble is purple. It's not showing up on your guy. There it is. Now you can see that little bubble poke through up that top is purple. And now I don't want to touch it. We might just have a super rainbow stone here. That would be awesome if this cap on top turns like bright freaking grape purple. That would be so dope. I thought I would get this thing done in an hour. Boy, that was stupid. I'd already worked on it a bunch, but I thought this last part I'd get done in like an hour. And then I worked on it for an hour and 20 minutes before I turned you guys on. Before I started live streaming, I should say. Oh, god dang, my elbow hurts so bad doing this right now. I have got to get this stone finished, though. I really want to finish this stone out. It's a good question, Paul. Ugh. You know what? With the way that is, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of a bigger head on this. I'm stressing my hand out so much. And that one bubbly area, I can't work those tiny little bubbles separately anyways, even with my smallest burr. Oh no, Landon! It broke and became a better piece. No, that sucks. You know what that means now, Landon, is you have to get carpet for your work area. When you're working on fire agate, we have found out your work area must be carpeted. It's just a must. Has to be that way. Yeah, this area right here, I expect a lot of that yellow is going to go away, and I'm going to expose more of that purple and blue that's underneath during polishing. But those colors are so thin right there. I left a little bit of that top color so I didn't lose any of them during the polish because the color in there is so awesome. And then it's got this deep blood red top. Like, this stone is definitely turning into a rainbow stone. Fire agate will cut a rainbow stone. It doesn't care who you have sex with. You can see little bits of blue that went through right there too, because like I said, that stuff is so thin. Some of the colors are just so wispy thin. All I care about is the majority of the colors are top grade colors. That purple is so dark underneath those bright spots that it's almost like you can't even see it. Not on camera, at least. The bright spots are making it to where you can't barely see. It's like a galaxy of neon, and the background is a purple you can barely see. Nope, and I'm definitely sure that fire agate formed in layers, yet you get these agates sometimes where the color and the agate itself looks like it was all liquid and it got swirled. Sometimes it looks like these were just dripped over top, like toppings on ice cream. And other times you have ones that look like they were mixed up while everything was still liquid. I mean, for the longest time, everybody thought opal formed over millions of years really slowly. Then you find one ant. You find one whole ant body inside of an opal where it's a real ant. And then that completely throws that out the window. When they found that ant body inside of that opal down in Australia, that makes it to where you don't think it's all over. Oh man, that looks like I went through that purple. That makes it to where you don't think it was all super slow in forming. I do wonder what it looks like if I polish it from there though, because that's purple there, and that's red down there. Yet the neon confetti on top of it sort of messes with it a little bit, even with the naked eye. I wouldn't say that, Modern Prospector. I've seen dealers at the Tucson show that were selling fake fossils, so. Depends on the dealer, my friend, right? Just like your drug dealers. You got some drug dealers that'll sell you anything, and then you got some people that'll only sell you the good shit. Yep, time to go back to the small burn now for a bit. I went to buy my son a birthday present, and Amazon shipping is now 3 weeks instead of 2 days. It wouldn't be here till 3 days after my birthday, and my birthday's a week after his birthday. No, fire agate cannot be made synthetically, Modern Prospector. I ever tell you guys I hate Fordite? I can't stand Fordite. I don't like it at all. Would you hang a piece of lead around your neck? Bunch of original Ford cars were painted with lead paint. So you could literally be hanging, toxic material that can leach into your skin and cause problems from Fordite. But that's only one of my small problems with it. Some of these assholes that are selling Fordite are calling it agate in the tagline, in the listing name. They're calling it Fordite, and then they're calling it agate in the same line. That shit pisses me off. It really makes me mad. I might just have to leave some of this little iron line at the bottom. My burr is not getting into some sections I want it to, and then it's burning through the color when I finally get through the iron line. Yeah, that color looks way better once I get that that bright leavings off of it. That red and purple really starts to pop. That means I got to take all this confetti neon off, which sort of sucks because it's sort of cool, but then you can see the really great color underneath of it. What's trinitite, Modern Prospector? That's because they don't want people coming out there from other places, Misty. There have been all kinds of people leaving cities and stuff like that and posting up how they're going rock hounding. They want them to sit their asses at home so that the spread stops. It's all about stopping that spread. And then you got dumbasses like the governor of Georgia. Was it Georgia? Oh, we didn't know. We didn't know that you didn't have symptoms and it got passed around. We didn't know. How the fuck do we elect people like this? We know he knew. But why do we elect such big, fat fucking liars? Oh, that's right. Because somebody that fucking tells the truth cannot get elected no matter what. Not to a real fucking office. Well, I guess that's not true. I don't think Bernie Sanders is a liar, and he got elected to office. He just didn't get. He's just not going to get the presidency. We're gonna get senile old Bill. No, God damn it, I can't even get his fucking name right. What's the senile rapey uncle bastard? Uncle Joe. That's it, Uncle fucking Joe. Trump is gonna step on his neck. Yes, you can, Cherie. I've done that plenty of times. You can also grind through your good colors just a little bit too far, and then you have it when you go to polish, and then when you're done polish, you've lost it. Yes, that is totally possible what you're asking about. Just so everybody's clear, because they've heard me talk about fucking Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I am not a socialist. I do not believe that everything should be socialized. I do believe that we should have socialized health care, socialized education, socialized education, basically taking care of old people, poor people, and the mentally ill. We spend enough money on going and ruining other countries. We can spend enough money on our own people to take care of the old, the infirm, education of our youth, fuck, education of anybody that wants it in our country, and health care. I firmly believe that we should have drafts for fucking college educated good teachers. That our teachers should be treated like basketball stars. Teachers shouldn't be paying for materials out of their own pockets. There, now I'm done talking about that. I just figured since I talked a little bit of politics, I might as well espouse that whole thing. Well, I'd rather have Trump again than have old rapey Uncle Joe. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Trump. I just think he's a fucking idiot. I mean, he has said some stupid ass shit over and over and over again. I don't want to be president. I would have definitely said some stupid ass shit over and over and over again. I would like to see Bernie Sanders because he talks all the stuff I believe in, though. Legalize marijuana, send kids to public college for school if they want to go and their grades are good enough, health care for all, reforming the school system. The problem is, if you're 80 years old, if you're 80 right now, your grandkids or your great grandkids are going to the exact same school you did, more than likely. More than likely, it's in the same building, might be a little bit bigger, but that lead paint just got covered up with some other paint that's not lead paint. Messed up. And 80 might have been a little bit too far. Probably 60 would be more accurate. Although I have to say, when they did this stimulus package, and you had the right wing talking about if he's not your president, then you shouldn't cash the check, and you had the left wing going, well, if you don't believe in socialistic stuff, then you can't cash the check. Oh, it's fucking hilarious. Hell no, the people I know that are right wing as fuck, that are like, socialism is the worst thing that could happen. Any sort of socialism is evil. They are eager as fuck to get that check. And you already know the lefties are, because most of those fuckers are poor or grew up poor. Jesus, I haven't even gotten through one side of this fucking cherry blossom on this fucking thing yet. It's driving me crazy. Yes, but I mainly work fire agate right now because it's the stuff I have that's the most abundant, that's not heat sensitive. This area totally changes from orange with a little tinge of yellow. You guys are seeing more yellow than I do, to blood red as it changes angle. See that red? It goes blood red. I think that red's pretty freaking cool. I sure am glad I had to be forced to order this burr. Now I have to order more of them. They just fucking the most useful burr ever. Way more useful than the one I was told was the most useful. I was told the inverted cone is the most useful. And that is about the least useful burr I've actually found, because it causes damage in places you don't really want it to. I think this one's ready to go to polish to see what will happen to it. Maybe not quite yet. Oh, they drop it. Also, if you can't tell now with that, so I don't burn my fingers anymore, that's where I'm trying to go. I'll just go ahead and push this thing completely over that spindle. That way I can grab it as high as I want. Funny, Paul, so was I. I can't afford a cabbing machine. I was thinking about making one out of plexiglass and bent steel. They have stuff to bend sheet metal here. So maybe I get aluminum sheets, but then I need to learn how to weld it. And they have a welder here, but I don't think it's what you weld aluminum with. I think it's what you weld steel with. So then I was thinking, well, maybe I could just make it out of plexiglass. That would make it a little bit lighter. That just looks dark, like it's not even anything special on the camera, when really, to me, it's really dark red. The purple top. Totally dark red with a purple top. You're probably right about that flat lap. Building a flat lap would probably be easier to build. Yet I already have wheels for a cabbing machine. I have all but 2 wheels I need. Actually, 3 wheels. I need like a 80 or a 120, a 325, and a 600. I have all the other soft wheels sitting in a box over here. Because when I sold my other cabbing machine, I took the soft wheels off of it. I just sold it with the hard wheels that came with it and a 600 that didn't. I can actually see smoke starting to come out of the center of this for me putting so much pressure on the plastic and the spindle. Oh yeah, I definitely feel the warmth now. I think I need to go back to making videos about daily life and stuff like that too. and not just avoid those types of videos. Anybody watch Cletus McFarland's YouTube channel? Most of his videos are about cars. But back in the day, he did some videos that were just about whatever was going on. And now he's got millions of subscribers, owns his own racetrack, just did the Freedom 500 at the Freedom Factory. That's the name of his racetrack he bought. And guys like him remind me what's possible once you get to a certain stage in the YouTube game. Damn, that front is so gorgeous. I'm thinking about, I really like that green on the bottom though, but I'm just thinking about taking it off because this front is so, this side over here is so gorgeous with that red. I need to get done with this stone now. As long as I don't screw anything up, I can always come back and recarve it if I need to. Or if somebody purchases it and requests a tooling on it or something. You can see how dark that red is to the camera too, and this is just even darker than that. It's like a blood cherry red. A little bit of purple in it. Hello, Anita. Hey, Catfish. Well, this stone has taken up a lot more time than I initially planned, but it has put out a lot more colors than I initially thought it would too. Yeah, I can't take out any loans right now, Modern Prospector, if you're talking to me on that one. Crampy hand. All right, I'm going to stop on this gorgeous ass stone. I'm going to take it to polish and see what comes out. Like purples and blues and reds, and this is a true rainbow stone, man. And it's huge too. But with this stone, I have 11 stones I believe are ready for polish. So time to break out the DeShine. Means I want to move the water forward a bit so it's not dripping right in the camera view. Oopsie. Looks like I'm going to need to spend another 300 bucks on some DeShine soon. Oh, my elbow. You know what? I probably should have got out a polish wheel. A buff. Yeah, I should probably use a buff because it won't sling so much. I'll just set this one down for a minute, grab a buff. Ah. Maybe I grabbed the wrong one. I think I did. I definitely grabbed the wrong one. This felt buff is just going to eat away too fast. Yep, that went away even quicker than the other one was going to. Well, chose the wrong one there. Let's see. Where did I put the... There it is. Let's see how this one does. I'm almost out of medium soft. Tell you the truth, I'm almost out of all of the good ones I use. Alright, let's try this now. That's better. Oops, I'm not on camera. And that one I'm thinking I didn't quite polish down enough. Didn't quite take it all the way through the brown on top. So that green should show up at all angles, especially from looking straight down on it. Instead, I have to turn it to get it to peak. This area is right on top of the color. I didn't quite carve this one good enough. I need to touch up with a 600, I think. Got the shine is doing a good job of bringing it out, though. Yeah, if I had wheels, this would be a stone I could finish on the wheels. Sure, say if I had a tabbing machine. Mm. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit a button I didn't mean to hit. This is the one that had that blue showing up there, and I went and carved it, and I could not get to a blue, and I was underneath the green layer. I could see where the layer went on top of this. So I quit searching for the blue. Because too many times now I've gone and ruined a really great stone trying to search for a color that didn't continue. Couple little tool marks in this one I'm not too happy about, but it's going to have to stay to show all the color it's showing. Looks way better in person than it does on the camera. On the camera, it's showing a lot more brown than it does in person. Ooh, that's hot as shit. I just burned my thumb on it. Oh, that one I'm going to have to use a brush on. These two should work. Focus, camera. This one had a great layer on top and had this one dead spot on the side, and I saw this amazing green hiding down underneath, so I decided to cut through everything on top and try to get to what was underneath, and it turned out sort of shitty, and I've been mad at it. So I left too many tool marks in it, to tell you the truth. This one I'm going to have to use Nova points on, because if I polish this with all these fucking tool marks, I'm never going to sell it. I'm never even going to try to sell it. That is dead red to my eyes. Oh, I need to back the camera up is the problem. That is super, super red to my eyes, and the camera's just not catching it. It's red on top of purple. Camera sure does catch the yellow and the green and the orange just fine, but it really doesn't like the red. Focus, camera, god damn it. Focus, god, motherfucker. Ooh, that stone is so hot, the nail is getting hard to hold. Yeah, sometimes it depends on the stone too. Like this stone kept having little areas that just kept having little bits of yellow or green behind on top of that red, and I wanted to expose as much of that red as possible. Now at an angle you can really see the red. And so I had to get those areas in order to have the red show up without all the little, it just ends up leaving these creases that I have some of these frickin' tool marks in. It's just the way it is with some pieces. I try to not leave any tool marks, yet if it's a choice between leaving tool marks or a stone that has lost color in it, I'll take the tool mark. I think that one's way past where I need it to be anyways. Definitely not a 600 anymore. Let's see what happens with this monstrosity. I think this one needs a brush. I think it's time to move to a brush. Although that really thick felt for pieces that I can use it on, it definitely held the diamond polish a lot better than a brush does. Brush sprays it everywhere. Oh, I'd love to, Modern Prospector. Time, finances, who I live. Really, I need to get my bus going again, get my license going again, and then get out on the road. Because I know if I got back out and I started making videos on a regular basis of being out in the wilds, I would get to that subscriber and view count that would make it to where I could do all that stuff I'd love to be doing. Focus, camera, damn it! Camera's pissing me off. This is a pink and purple stone that looks black to you guys. Good night, D. Sleep good. I'm about to get to that other stone since I'm working with brushes now. This frickin' camera does not want to stay focused for me at all. It's almost like it's focusing on the light up above or something. All right. Yeah, the purple and reds do not show up good on the camera. Because this one is all massive purple and green. And it's barely showing up on that camera. I think I need a little bit more to shine paste on my wheel. Good night, Modern Prospector. Like I said, that other stone is next. Saving the best for last. I should have probably done it first so you guys could see it. But the reason I didn't do this one first is because it's got wax. I heat that wax up and it starts getting into stuff and then it's a pain in the ass. Hey Jason, how you doing, buddy? My night's going pretty good. To finish this stone out, I'm going to have to take it off the dop and put it on a nail with some super glue. Otherwise, it's guaranteed that I'm going to end up getting this wax in these crevices, and it's going to make cleaning it so much more difficult. Because although somebody told me WD-40 melts the wax, it does not melt it that easily. Some people are very diehard fanatics. Other people just like him better than the other options. I'm one of those people that if you think he talks smart and he makes good decisions about stuff, then you just haven't been paying attention. But I'd vote for him before Joe Biden in a heartbeat. And when it came to Hillary or Trump, I was like, neither. My great aunt is a total fan. Too much of a fan to be able to pay attention to what's really going on. That's a problem with some politics. People become fans and shouldn't be a fan of a politician. Should be about what he does. Or she does. Focus, you damn camera. Fucking focus. I had to say it, I think I'm going to recarve this one. I mean, although it is purple and it is a dark red, it's just not showing up like the rest of the stone. Not showing up like those neon sides. Try to start dragging, heating it up too much and dragging the wax up into it, making it so much more work. Yes, Anita, yes. United Healthcare sounds better than the current system, absolutely. Just look at pieces of shit like Martin Scarelli. If you don't think that a unified health system would work better than what we have now, you just don't have enough information. Yes, the lesser of two evils is still evil. That's very true. No, homelessness has been on a huge rise the last few years, especially, but the last decade, especially. And getting up off the streets has never been more difficult. And mental health is not how the United States deals with people in mental health now is by putting them in jail. That's not the proper system. We have a fucked up system. A for-profit jail system makes no damn sense. Our school to prison system, where we have cops that arrest 7-year-olds so they can put them in the system, is ridiculous. And kids living on the streets left their home or their parents kicked them out. That's not always necessarily true. And blaming all of homelessness on Trump is not accurate either. There was homelessness before Trump. It's our system, it's not Trump. Trump didn't start the bad system. He's a symptom of the bad system. The system is fucked. This needs to go in the freezer. Now you can really see that purple, though. This needs to go in the freezer so I can take it off of this and glue it a bit. Because the polishing is way easier on my hands and my tennis elbow than the grinding is. The grinding is much more difficult. Period. Check that out and then check your bias. The reality is Trump is no better and no worse than any of these other pieces of trash. He's just different. Bush was a piece of shit. Clinton was a piece of shit. Obama turned out to be a piece of shit. Why do I say Obama's a piece of shit? Because he was just anyway. His cabinet is full of monsters and always has been. He says a couple of true things, but never really backs them up. Like when he talked about all those guys that will just they're just all into endless war. They want endless war. They want me to start a war all the time. Well, that was accurate, and he spoke some truth right then. But then did he change any of those guys? No. Did he really stop any wars? No. And when he did, he made mistakes while doing it to where he was basically pulling out of an area that we had created a military situation with, to where we were basically abandoning the Iraqis, which is where we started all the shit with over false pretenses. So, I mean, he's just a scumbag of a different flavor. And I mean, my great aunt likes to say, he's the only president that doesn't make any money off his presidency. And that's about the biggest load of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. Okay, $300 million spent on golfing at Mar-a-Lago. Hello? Like, McFly, like, what the fuck? You don't think he's making money off of that? $300 million to golf? I mean, give me a fucking break. Yes, some of that goes towards Secret Service expenditures and stuff like that, but still, it's fucking ridiculous. They're all a bunch of scumbags. The only one that's not a scumbag that I've seen is the guy that marched with Martin Luther King and for 30 years kept up the same rhetoric. Said the same thing for 30 years. That's why nobody likes him in Congress. That's why they won't let him become a fucking president. And that's why if he did, they would probably fucking assassinate him like they did JF. There's no chance in hell these pieces of shit that really run our American government are going to allow somebody that actually works for the people and actually cares about the people make it in. There's no way. Not a chance in hell. Anyways, Jason, good job coming into the room and totally hijacking it and turning it into 100% political. We talked a little bit, but you had to railroad that shit right to the right and left, didn't you, buddy? Human being, you need to be discerning. As a true American, patriots are not one fucking side or the other side. They just use that terminology to pretend like the other side is evil when they're all from the fucking same shit. There's no difference between a Republican and a Democrat person in office, except for a few. There are a few here and there that are actually different than Republicans. But the reality is 90% of those people that are in office are no different whether they're on the right or the left. They are self-serving bastards. That's pretty much it. If you think they're working for you and you don't have billions of dollars, then you're fucking wrong. Like damn right, Paul. Warmongers make big money off of selling weapons. Yes, you're right. You're right, Catfish. There's a bunch of shadow organizations talking about the Freemasons. The Freemasons aren't the only one. It's just one of them. Do I think they run the world? No. No. I think greed and money runs the world. That's the reality of it, is that the focus of these people in general is not on a cabal's overall interest. It's on using a cabal, yes, to keep all of themselves and the families that are involved rich. That's it.
That's the plan. Like that, they're not really trying to end the world, or they're just trying to keep a hold of whatever power they have for the generations that come after them to be in power again. That's all it is. But that can be bad enough. Misty Epperson, my husband, says High Impact Vlogs is a good channel to watch. Well, since you're telling people to go to another channel like Misty, what is High Impact Vlogs? What type of videos do they do? Yes, right now, Margaret, you're exactly right. And they're getting more and more power. Our elected officials. That's a problem. It's a huge problem. Corporations are not people. They shouldn't be seen as people. Corporations should not be able to give money towards our elected officials. Like it's not right, and we keep seeing issues because of it. All kinds of issues. See, I'm almost thinking that even though you got a really good color that's like not a neon color, that it's just better to stay with the neon colors. It's definitely purple, it's definitely red, but it's like a dull, dark purple and red. It's not like a bright. But I'll bet you I can go below that dull and there's going to be more colors underneath there. I would bet that on definitely. Hey Tina, you missed it. We were working on some crystals. My hands got tired. It's getting late for me. What time is it? Let me find my phone. Well, it's a little bit earlier than I thought it was. I'm going to do some more polishing of this stuff and fixing some of this stuff up, but I have some tendonitis issues going on, so I'm going to have to take a little bit of break on it. But I've been pushing it the last couple of days, and I thought I was going to have all these done today. And there's just some things about some of these stones that makes me not happy. I don't understand why green and yellow, orange, and sometimes, well, blue too, will be these neon bright colors, and red and purple seem to be not neon bright. They seem to be, they're there, they're colorful, but they're not like reflective, hardcore, bright reflective. The only time I get a bright reflective, hardcore red is when it's sitting on a yellow. It's sitting right, or I'm not yellow, orange. It's sitting right on top of an orange. I don't understand that at all. I really, really don't. I don't get that one bit. Just dip it in there and focus for me, camera. I don't get it. Anyways. Yeah, so this wasn't supposed to be about like picking sides and making my YouTube channel all partisan one side or another, because in all honesty, it's my firm belief that our government is a sick fucking bird and we have to have some drastic changes in order to change it. But as long as trigger words can get in the way of real ideas, then it's a problem. We have trillions of dollars that are wasted everywhere else. As soon as there's something big like this coronavirus going on, they want to use stimulus packages and they want to give people money, which is socialism. Basically, socialism is where they tax people and they use that money to benefit the people they're taxing. Like, that's generally socialism. Now, if you look at any other socialistic societies that are full on socialism, I don't generally agree with them. I'm not down for that. Yet, if you look at any of those places I'm talking about too, they were all corrupt. None of them were real systems of what they talked about. Every single person got corrupt if they weren't corrupt already. I mean, I don't want communism. I don't want socialism. but I do want my tax dollars and your tax dollars to be spent on our people here in this country before going over and ruining other countries so that the warmongers can make more money. Because that's what's going on. That's what's been going on forever. That's why we've been in Afghanistan for so long. We go there, we fuck places up, we take their natural resources, then we leave, and we're like, oh, well, you know, they didn't do superiority was about. Fucking for sure not. We're better than that. We should be better than that. And we should hold our elected officials to being better than that. And we should be on the fucking firing and ruining of corporations that aren't better than that. Instead, we cover their asses. Corporations steal from us. We give them money so they don't go out of business. And it happens all the freaking time, over and over and over again. And it's because our politicians are corrupt. I don't remember what country it was, but about 10 years ago, a country started hanging their corrupt politicians from outbuildings, like hanging them with nooses. It was bankers and politicians that were corrupt. Like they just marched in hundreds of thousands of people in the street, started hanging these bitches out the windows. Dude, like that's what's going to need to happen in order for our society to change for the better, to be a better society for the people. Like, am I fine with the stimulus package? Hell yeah. Would I take the money? Hell yeah. I think you should too. But all they're doing is giving your money back to you. But remember, it is a socialistic idea. It's a socialistic premise. When they start giving you those stimulus checks, when you take that $600, when you take that $1,200, that is socialism. It's just an authoritarian style of socialism. It's a one person in the lead below another person in the lead. Yet the military is them say, you need to be on our right-hand team. You need to be on our left-hand team. You need to be on the human team, on the people's team, on the American team that's actually about progress towards a better tomorrow, not about the bullshit that they want to inflame your senses with so you do what they want instead of think clearly. Hey, Minnesota Mike, how you doing? Hey, Tina French. She says, well, it's only 8:30 in Cali, right? I'm on the Gulf Coast, dear. It's a little bit later here. And I don't stay up much more than past midnight, and I have to take a shower before I go to bed, and I have to read. I can't go to sleep without reading. And before I started reading again, it was I couldn't go to sleep without watching the boob tube. But now I have these amazing books, and I just can't stop digesting reading. And I can't sit down and do nothing during the day because if I'm not working on stuff, then my great aunt starts thinking I'm a bum or something because she's definitely elderly. She's awesome. She's saved my ass. But some of the stuff she thinks about the world, some of the stuff she thinks about politics, some of the stuff she thinks about me are not accurate. They're just not true. Bonsai, what's up, man? How do they hold hello all from Bonsai with one misspelled word in there as needs to be checked? I let Jason Meady's cuss word in. Of course, I'm going to let his thing in. Oh, you're in the Emerald Triangle. Boy, that was one of my favorite places to visit in the 90s, I tell you what. That did you watch that Murder Mountain? Tina French, did you see that Murder Mountain documentary style thing? I think it was on Netflix. Boy, that was some good real shit right there, I tell you what. If you haven't seen Murder Mountain, and in-depth idea about just because people grow pot doesn't mean they're not gangsters. Like that's pretty much in a nutshell. That's exactly what that is. Just because people grow pot doesn't mean they're not gangsters. I'm not doing too bad. I got tendonitis acting up in my arm. I've been carving a lot recently. And then today, I was disappointed in a lot of the stuff I carved when I went to start polishing it. To tell you the truth, man, some of these colors they're there, but they're so dull compared to some of the other colors that are like neon, and it's starting to get on my stinking nerves that I have like these purples in some of these stones that are not neon purples, but they're purple. Like it pisses me off. And then Jason came in and got me ranting about politics and like and I'm sick of you people having teams. Get off your damn team. Like it's not a sport. That shit should be legal too. You live an hour away from Murder Mountain, Tina French? I'm pretty sure that's pretty much over with. I mean, might not be, but they squashed so much of those small time pop farmers up there. Like they got killed. I have friends of mine that are deep into the marijuana scene in Oregon. And they were talking about the same thing that happened to those people in that area happened to them. Like they were making great money at one point, growing and selling. And then if they didn't get big enough, there was a price war about a year and a half, 2 years ago, to where you could go and get a an ounce of mediocre pot for $25. It was Oregon mediocre pot, not like Mexi weed. And you could get like an ounce of like really good stuff for like $50. And this was at some dispensaries. You could pay those prices of good stuff too. And it just put growers, small time growers, out of business. They just weren't able to compete. They couldn't sell it for as cheap as it was, they couldn't grow it for as cheap as it was selling for. And the people with a giant warehouse were just able to crush them. There's too much pot. It was just over. It was flooded. Yeah, huh, bonsai. Wow, wish that would happen here. I was floored when I visited Oregon and went into a shop and everything's so ridiculously cheap. It was like an eighth for $5 in some places. It was crazy. It was nuts. I was acting all gaga. Don't get me wrong, I don't smoke right now. Like I haven't smoked in months, going on like 5 months. I have dreams now though, and it took me like 4 months to get over nightmares and start having dreams, maybe 3.5 months. And I have way less nightmares now than I've ever had in my whole life, because I've had night terrors ever since I was a kid, because I was like, holy hell. I have stories that I have to write, because if I were to tell you them, they would make you cry. I have ridiculous stories about the shit that happened to me that gave me night terrors. But now recently I've been having lots of it's been too long since I've had a woman, because I've been having lots of weird dreams about women. One of these dreams, I was on an alien planet and I was an alien and she was an alien and we were deeply in love, and she was telling me, I mean, I could just feel this connection, this love I had for this alien woman. I mean, it was like deep feeling. I mean, when I woke up, I was like, I was in pain that that feeling was over. It hurt that that connection feeling was gone, and I knew it wasn't real. But right before I woke up in this dream, she was telling me about this deposit of black opal she found, and she was showing me the largest black opal. And then I woke up. She's like, we have to go and find this stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, baby, we're going. Yeah, baby." And then I wake up and I'm like, "No, I'm here. I don't want to be here. Send me back." I was so upset. uh, yes, Misty, but how good is that ounce? Like, it was some pretty good stuff up in Oregon, like 28% THC stuff. It was crazy. Stuff that was all crystals. I mean, it's crazy. It was insane. I mean, the amount of THC they're getting in that stuff is crazy right now. Margaret, man, that's prices like we used to pay back when I used to smoke. I know, right? Like when they used to call them lids. Oh, your wife found your other profile, huh, Bonsai? You found a fake profile with my pic on it. She won't tell me what site or app. I'm so confused. Oh, that sucks, bud. You must be good looking if somebody else is catfishing people with your picture, though. You must be a sexy bastard, Bonsai. Like, because if I was trying to cheat, I would definitely use a picture of somebody else. You know, like it's the best way not to get caught. And of course, there's only one app, dude. It's Tinder. Hello. Like, what other app is there that people use to either date or get laid now? There was a girl on my timeline that was talking about how she on her Tinder account, she just wanted people to go play frisbee golf with. Like she didn't like to be touched. She just wanted to go play frisbee golf. She's using fucking Tinder to find people to play frisbee golf with. Like what the hell? You can't just go to a frisbee golf course and hook up with people? Like, you know? Minnesota Mike, my whole front yard is rock, all workable with a saw, about 30,000 pounds. Holy shit, Minnesota Mike. You need a couple of saws. Yeah, I've always been a blueberry fan. I've always liked blueberry, but I tell you what, when I first started smoking, it was in Alaska when I first really started smoking, and I was kicked out of the house, and I was living. I mean, but my mom's a fucking psycho. Like she kicked me out in the middle of winter, and I would have died out there if it wasn't for one of my friend's moms. But there was this guy that introduced me to pot, and he didn't introduce me to it. I was like, I first really started smoking with him. And he had this apartment that was right around the corner from my mom's house. And he spent all summer on a fishing boat and then all winter doing nothing. He'd just sit in his house and smoke weed all day. And this guy, he wasn't just this guy because it was like the only connection in Fairbanks at the time because everybody that had weed always had this same weed. And it was blueberry. And this stuff tasted like freaking blueberries. Like it was the most blueberry tasting blueberry I've still ever tasted in my life. Because when I first smoked it, it doesn't taste like it does once your lungs get climatized and your taste buds start to actually get used to smoking. And then you start to taste the herb and the nuances in it. Like the first couple times didn't taste like that, but like the third or fourth time, it just tasted like mad blueberries. Like I'm still blown away by how blueberry this stuff tasted. Because in my whole life, I only got a couple of times herb that tasted that blueberry-ish. But blueberry's always been my favorite. Oh, that's messed up, bonsai bro. When I'm having like nightmares and night terrors, I know they feel real and I get like that really overwhelming sense of fear and stuff like that. And when I get that overwhelming sense of fear, that's when I realize I'm dreaming. Like I totally realize I'm dreaming and I can wake myself up, but it's always the same way when I wake myself up. Like I wake myself up by like yelling. Like I literally go from yelling in my dream to yelling in real life and like sitting up straight up and take a big gulp of air like I was suffocating. Although there has been a couple times where I thought I was suffocating in my bed and shit like that. And I wake up and felt like I couldn't breathe and stuff. But I can wake myself up out of them, but it's always at the height peak of fear inside of the dream that I wake up. And it's funny because in real life, I'm not scared of much. Like when you see me scared, is when I'm angry and I'm ready to fight because I don't have any more flight left in me. Like I only have fight left. So when you see me scared, I'm ready to kick somebody's ass. That's when I'm really scared. Like I'm angry. Like that's how I deal with fear. In real life, when I get scared, I'm ready to go. Yeah, that's a hell of a weird dream, Bonsai. Minnesota Mike. That's hilarious. It's when I was one of the problems with the dude that used to beat me up in the night terrors I had when I was younger is like I wet the bed till I was way too old because of them. Like I would have bad dreams, I would piss my pants and I would wake up. But every now and then I would have a dream where I was in the bathroom going to the bathroom and then I would wake up in a soaking wet bed. So I get what you're saying. If you're in a dream and you have to take a poop, don't do it. That's a horrible way to wake up, I'd imagine. I know piss in the bed and waking up. I remember that from my younger years, and that is a horrible way to wake up. But geez, I can't even imagine. uh, no, I haven't seen any of the Tom Hanks alien stuff. Tina French, no, pot made it better. Like pot when I was a teenager, that was the first time I slept and I didn't dream. I didn't have nightmares because before that, I always had nightmares of the dude that used to beat me or messed up dreams that were associated with the shit he used to do to me. I mean, but he was psychologically abusive, physically abusive. Like he was a fucking monster. The only thing he didn't do is he never sexually abused me. But every other kind of abuse you could think of, this dude did to me, just not sexually. I mean, burnt me. He beat me up. Like he did messed up psychological things, like really messed up psychological things. Read my book whenever I write that bastard, because I need to write that shit. I got lots of interesting stories. Maybe even 2 books in me, because there's like the childhood that's really messed up, and then there's like the teenage to adult years where I was all on the streets and dealing and became part of families like hippie families and acid families and the DJ years. And then I got married, and actually then that's even got a bunch of shit. And so maybe I got 3. There might be, I'm not sure because I haven't actually written any of this stuff. I write some of my stuff, and like I've written in the I've missed the last couple of days, but I keep meaning to write every day, or at least put a video, if not writing every day, in the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee website. And I'm not a natural writer. I do not like to write. I've always been bad at it. I can't write good with my hands. I can type better than I can write. And only because spell check works so well now. Because I spell like a fucking 6-year-old. Jason Meady's pumping his Instagram. That's not what other people say, Tina. They don't say I'm humble. I'm never worried about being humble, to tell you the truth. I'd rather be honest, and I have a discerning eye. I know when I put shit out, like I know when something I do is bad, and I always want the stuff I do to be good, top quality. I'm always interested in that. So I know when I do something good too. And I have no problem going, dude, you see how badass that shit I did is? So I don't really think I'm humble. Uh, the conspiracy behind Tom Hanks, that's not alien though. The conspiracy behind Tom Hanks is he's a child predator who is part of the Epstein crap. Yeah, I haven't seen none of that stuff. I have seen where his son is trolling people because they're talking about how Tom Hanks is part of the Illuminati and all that stuff. And dude, some of these people go so look, there are a lot of real conspiracies. There's a lot of real crap and real underhanded shit that has gone on using our government, using popular opinion. Yes, I totally believe Epstein ran pedophile rings. I also absolutely believe that Epstein paid young chicks lots of money to go have sex with old men. And I definitely don't, I'm not a believer that uh, if you're paid to do a service, it's not rape. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody offered you a ridiculous amount of money and you said, hell yes, I'm going to do that, then you weren't raped. You just made a bad decision. And he might still be a piece of shit, but you still made the decision. Just like Harvey Weinstein's a scumbag, right? But to all of those women that Harvey Weinstein offered something and then they jumped on his dick because of it, he didn't rape those women. Now, did he rape some other ones? Probably. Did he force himself on some women? Probably. And those ones are victims. The other ones, the ones that are like, ah, man, you know what? I know he's fat and I know he's gross and I know he's sweaty and I know he's ugly. And, but I really want that part. So I'm going to take the D. Like they took the L too, you know, like they took the L. I mean, that's the reality of that. Like, that's not the, and just to be clear, I have been raped before, not by a man. I've actually been raped by a woman, believe it or not. Like, I have a fucking story about that shit too. Like, and there's a time where I had this girl I really didn't want to sleep with that and we were friends and she was at my house and she begged and she begged and she begged and then she started saying things that were like just twisted in a sort of way that gets me going sexually a little bit to where I ended up sleeping with her. And I didn't want to, but I did. I ended up sleeping with her that day. And I felt gross about it afterwards, but I still made the decision. Like, that girl didn't rape me. Like, she coerced me, but she didn't threaten me. Like, so yeah, I have some static opinions about some things. Is that dude a piece of shit? Absolutely. Is everybody a victim? No. His son is a weirdo too. That I see in your videos, you're pretty cocky. Tina, I was just saying I wasn't humble. Whoa, you gotta be so mean. uh, Yeah, I had people try to do that to me, Paul. Put my hand in warm water. Only problem is that I wake up when I'm touched. Like, if I'm asleep and somebody touches me, I wake up. Especially now, because at this age, I've been to prison before. Like, so you start to get a sixth sense about somebody being in your space when you're asleep. Like, that won't work. Somebody's grabbing my hand while I'm asleep. They might get hit as I'm waking up. It's very possible. When I was a kid, that still never worked on me. I I've seen some people that can sleep that deep, but not very many. You know, the funniest thing I've ever seen is my sister and my grandfather tried to get my uncle. My uncle he's a piece of shit, but he's a prankster, right? And they tried to get him by putting the whipped cream on and tickling his nose. But he must have heard the can or something where it wasn't whipped cream, it was a shaving cream. And he was sleeping on the couch in the front room, and they got the shaving cream all in his hand, and he's laying off the couch, his hands like this, and they get the shaving cream all in his hand, and as they're tickling his nose, he slaps my sister across the face with a handful of shaving cream. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. They thought they were gonna get him, and he didn't just like pap her, like he bitch slapped her with that shaving cream, and it was very funny. But that dude is a dick, anyways. Yeah, his son might be a weirdo, but I'm not going to convict anybody or even believe the hype without some sort of proof or evidence or something. I mean, there was plenty of evidence about Epstein, but just saying, hey, this person, and because he's rich and because he's been in all kinds of movies, Tom Hanks is a badass actor. I mean, he really is. What victim has ever come forward and been like, Tom Hanks tried to take advantage of me? I mean, at least with Kevin Spacey, which we never even knew Kevin Spacey was gay until that dude came out. Like I had no idea Kevin Spacey liked the D until we had a dude talking about how when he was 16 or 15 or whatever, Kevin Spacey was trying to bang him. But there was a victim that came forward and was saying this about Kevin Spacey. We don't see any of that with Tom Hanks. So I just hesitate to go and jump into the deep end without seeing some sort of proof. I need to see something that seems like it's sort of legitimate. And I'm 1000% am a believer that Hollywood is full of fucking pedophiles. Absolutely. Like the Two Corys TV show with Heyman Feldman got me into believing that even more than I did before. My kid has had an amazing ability to act since he was very, very young. And the biggest reason that me and his mother never did anything about it and never tried to let him have any sort of opportunities with acting is because of understanding the way that Hollywood is and the way that those people are when it comes to children and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of that crap that goes on. It's disgusting. I absolutely, but at the same time, because there's so much cancel culture going on, and I'm not a PC guy, obviously, and I believe in freedom of speech big time. Damn it. There's no way I'm going to jump on a bandwagon of like, oh yeah, that dude's a horrible, he does this and he does, without seeing something or without somebody who's half-ass legitimate coming forward, I mean, if we had like 5 kids that are coming forward going, Tom Hanks was my priest, then or 5 adults now that were coming forward that were like, 10 years ago, 5 years, 6 years ago, I would tend to start to believe things then. But just the hokey shit that's been on the internet, nah, I'm not going for that. I also don't believe the ancient aliens crap they post all the time, and the History Channel, which I used to love when I was younger, and then I started seeing some real research go into some of the stuff. They post lies. Like those channel, the History Channel does a lot of history that's not accurate history. So, an ancient aliens cares more about the clickbait crap than they do about the truth. Palsy, I had a chick I really liked try to rape me when I was drunk. It kind of sucks because I really did want to be with her but couldn't get it up. That's only happened to me on hard drugs. Alcohol, I'm Superman. I could do like 10 chicks in one night on alcohol. When I drink just the right amount, I freaking, they always get tired and I'm nowhere near done. Yeah, that might be accurate, Jason. Where is it? Tina, look at his Instagram. Bonzo's like, it's crazy, Tina. No, Bonsai, I've never done any silver work or metal smithing. I need to find somebody that's going to do some silver work or metal smithing with me. I have an old white gold ring that has sapphires and diamonds in it that is bent out of shape that I would like to have the sapphires and the diamonds pulled out of it and a fire agate ring with the sapphires and diamonds made if it was possible. But I don't have anybody who can do the work for me right now. That's what I want to do. I want to have somebody that can remake me a nice fire agate ring to go with my fire agate pendant that I'm going to recarve. Good night, Misty. I just see people telling you good night, so I must have missed where you said goodbye. Oh, there it is. Lovely stonework tonight, Kaliko. Have a good night. Good night, Misty. I'm going to close it down here in a couple minutes anyways. We've gone way off the deep end. The warts in a bathroom door, the women, men's, and babies, and his comment is like, which do I choose or something? It's probably not even his actual Instagram. And why would somebody post that on their Instagram? That just doesn't sound right. In gold or silver with the white gold ring I have. I actually like white gold. I like platinum. I like the expensive that looks like the more inexpensive. Like I myself am not a fan of like yellow gold on me. I would wear it, but I tend to like white gold. Rhodium plated is what it is, right? It looks way different than silver. It's way brighter. Like white gold, rhodium plate is way brighter than silver, and platinum's even brighter than that. Nice. Send me some pictures. Put them on the Mining America group, Bonsai, when you start getting some stuff done. I'm lost in the conversation now, guys. I'm looking at people's stuff and not understanding things. I think I followed Jason's Instagram at one point in time. It's 11. I should clock off anyways, tell you the truth, guys. We got 15 people here, more than when I was carving rocks, because we're talking smack about all kinds of shit. Like politics and drama and all kinds of other stuff too. Well, you know I love you for watching. Thanks for sticking around, even if I said a whole bunch of political stuff you don't like. I'm just not big on the teams, to tell you the truth. That's probably my biggest thing, is the team aspect is one of the biggest issues. Yeah, my first page you did, but I got shut down because some heavy-set lady got offended. You're not allowed to call people fat anymore, Jason. Although for me right now, I am fat. I've been like between 145 and 155 my whole life, and I'm probably around 175 right now because I got a gut I never had. I've had a six-pack until like last year. Been rather upsetting to look at myself when I get out of the shower and see my gut starting to hang around my belt. Like I've always had a six-pack. Although my wife says my face looks better when I'm not so thin. And people don't call me a meth head near as much now. Even when I'm out in the desert digging, everyone's like, "You're on crack. You smoke meth." No, I don't do anything like that. I just work all day and sweat all the food out. It makes me skinny. Yep. Like Jason Meaty said, good night, all. Thank you for watching. Bonsai, oh, well, you'll get used to it. No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to start working out again so I can get all big and buff, because the most I ever weighed is when I got out of prison the first time. I weighed almost 190 pounds, and I was like, I look like The Rock. Well, not that big, but I was huge, like a big old pecs and giant arms and boulder shoulders, and my neck looks small instead of long like it does right here. And I'm single, and I haven't had a lady friend in quite a long time, and being like that gets you lady friends. So get big and buff. See, it's a little bit different for you then. Like I have friends like that. They've always been big guys. I haven't. I've always been a fucking string bean. I've always been skinny. Ugh. Yeah, that's what I got. I got a total dad bod right now. I'm right around the corner from having some moobs. Hey, I love y'all for watching. I'll bring you guys back soon, even if it's just to talk smack like this. I need to make the Talking Rocks podcast is going to be happening soon. I'm hoping some other people let me interview them. I interviewed one of my friends the other day, and we had a great video. And I went to go and edit the video, and it was horrible quality. The Skype call didn't record properly. It was the worst quality ever. And then when I exported the video was a 45-minute conversation, a great conversation. Would have been awesome to listen to while you're working. And it got cut down to 6.5 minutes. So it took me about 3 days to figure out what the problem is, find a workaround, and now I've got a workaround, and it should be awesome. The video quality should be awesome. The sound should be awesome. So the podcast is coming soon, and it will be much more on point stuff than like when me sitting here rambling, because it's not going to be me by myself. It's going to be me interviewing people. Catfish, I got the grandpa body now. Well, according to YouPorn, even women like the grandpa body. Like, so I love y'all for watching. I'll see you soon. This is the real Lazarus. Just let us see what you're doing. Let us decide that which is right or wrong. You're great. I like your demeanor, Lazarus, the real one. All right, Lazarus, you have a great night, my friend. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you. You know I do. Bye.